Hello and welcome to What Am I Tolkien About? If you haven't watched the Riddle One video yet, don't be hasty. There's a link in the description. That being said, spoiler alert, this is a riddle answer video. If you want a chance to guess before the answer is revealed, now's your chance. All right, you've been waiting, and here it is, the answer to Riddle One. Bilbo's pipe. I know what you're thinking. What? I was certain it was the One Ring. Well, there's a reason for that. I kind of wanted you to think it was the One Ring. However, if you didn't fall for all the purposeful misdirections, I did my best to reveal all the clues you would need to get the answer. Remember, I want you to solve my riddles. For those of you who didn't guess it, don't feel bad. Once I explain this riddle, you'll have a sense of what to look for in the future. For those of you who guessed correctly, well done. For all of you, here's what I'm talking about. So, the first stanza. With fire its plain, my purpose perceived. When stoked the flame, the stoker relieved. Right away, I wanted to evoke a sense of fire, appropriate for both the One Ring and Bilbo's pipe. But it wouldn't be fair without associating the flame with an entity acting upon it, ergo, stoker. In the first two lines, I definitely tried to allude to the account of Isildur that mentions how only fire can reveal the markings on the ring. In the next stanza, though one may I be, I'm never alone, e'en trumpets all need a hornblower's tone. First line, another misdirect with the use of the word one. I'm never alone, a reference to ownership. This is something to watch throughout future riddles. E'en is a derivation of even, devised to help keep the rhythm of the riddle flow without a syllabic hiccup. A technique often used in times past for lyrics and hymns and such. Hornblowers is capitalized for a reason. Tobold Hornblower, or Old Toby, is the hobbit famous for introducing pipeweed to the Shire. On to the next. Few know or have seen my talent to bind, still fewer are keen a danger to find. The bind reference is applicable to both the ring's power as well as a smoking addiction. In the last two lines, a comment on how those who enjoy smoking often aren't interested in looking at the dangers therein. Next, and who could presume in so small a thing the power to consume or bear up to sing? So small a thing, a reference to the line Boromir says in the Fellowship of the Ring. This was a misdirect, but pipes are, small. Power is another word to lead a reader to the ring, if not at least subconsciously. Bear up to sing, a reference to the hobbit's love of the brewing of ales and the smoking of pipeweed. They do love singing as well, as we witnessed many times throughout the books and, of course, the movies. In the next stanza, alas, it is best I'm held and not worn, a bearer twould test their will for such scorn. Held and not worn pertains to the warning Gandalf gave Frodo concerning putting on the ring, and how a pipe isn't an item of clothing. A bearer, another ring-related misdirect, but who's to say one doesn't bear a pipe should it be on their person? And next, intended am I for one who's no fears of what I give off, when what I leave clears. Aside from the use of the word one, this is more directed at the real object of the riddle and should elicit imagery of smoke. Next, the means of an end, among others, no doubt, past centuries' friend and 10 years about. Okay, so again, I capitalized a word to denote significance. End is a reference, of course, to bag end. Among others, a comment on there being a plurality of the object in question, a century and 10 years, about, awfully close to what? 11 years, trying once again to assign ownership to the birthday boy, Bilbo. Finally, and last it is known while many abound, I am his alone, with he I am found. A last attempt at misdirection, as there are many rings of power, but there's likely far more pipes in the Shire. And finally, a possessive connotation so it's clear how to derive and focus your answer. I knew doing a riddle show centered on objects in Tolkien's works would create a bit of anticipation for when the One Ring would be the object. I chose to get out in front of that anticipation and offer up a little light-hearted trolling. From here on in, though, the riddles will be more direct and much less misdirection-based. I can't promise the utter absence of misdirection, but it will be comparatively minimal. This was also super challenging as it was essentially writing a riddle within a riddle. Not sure I want to put myself through that a ton. But no matter how challenging the object, I will persevere. Hopefully, so will you. It may be needed for my next riddle as it's a tricky one. Hit the notification bell to stay abreast of its status, and if you'd be so kind, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and may the blessing of elves and men and all free folk go with you.